So you want to become a paid speaker. I got you. What's up, guys? It's your girl Brianna Queen, award-winning content creator, digital marketer, and paid speaker. And today I'm going to share how you can get paid too. Because I get this question a lot. A whole lot. So much so that I even created a mini course all about becoming a paid speaker. But today, I'm gonna give you some tips because I said I got you. Number one, if you want to become a paid speaker, you first need to become an experienced speaker. So decide on who you want to help. What do you want to be known for? What kind of speaking do you want to do? Do you want to be a motivational speaker, a business speaker? Like, what kind of speaking engagements do you want? And who is your audience? Do you help inner city kids with creating a business? Do you help business owners diversify their style? What is it that you want to do? Who do you want to help and what do you want to be known for? When someone introduces you, they say, hey, so-and-so coming to the stage, how are they going to introduce you? Are you Brianna Queen, an award-winning digital marketer who helps creators make money online? Are you someone who helps kids? Are you someone that helps single mothers diversify their income? Are you someone that helps human resource departments diversify their hiring process? Like, what exactly do you do? Who do you want to help and what do you want to be known for? People say, oh, I want to become a paid speaker. My first question is, okay, like, what do you want to speak on? Like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to share? Like, that needs to be the first thing you know. So that when you go to someone and say, hey, I will be a speaker at your event, they can say, okay, like, what do you want to talk about? Like, what do you want to share? You should be able to answer that immediately, and it should be very simple. It shouldn't be like, oh, I can speak on motivation or business or weight loss, because that's too confusing, right? So number one is you want to know who you're going to help and then what you want to be known for. Number two, you have to build your personal brand. Now, unless you are a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company and people just know who you are already, you have to build out your personal brand. You have to start crafting your message. Personal brand is how people perceive you, how people feel about you. Your personal brand is going to get you indoors. So you really have to start building up your personal brand. What's your story? What's your message? What do you stand for? Heck, what is your personal brand experience? Are you professional? Are you very relaxed? Like, what does that look like? So you really have to build out your personal brand and what you want to be known for and how you want to be viewed. Is your personal brand very professional? That may cater more to corporate or executives or CEOs. Is your personal brand more relaxed, more down to earth? That may be great for kids and college kids and entrepreneurs. Like, what is your brand experience? What is your brand image? What is your brand message? Those things are so important, especially if you want to get paid. Because if you are a paid speaker, you being a speaker is also a part of your personal brand. Yes, you being a speaker is also part of your personal brand. Number three, once you start developing your personal brand, it's time to craft your message and your story, and you have to share it often. You have to share your story often. When you name certain entrepreneurs in the online space, I know their story. I know how Oprah was once poor and now she is a media mogul. I know how Tyler Perry at one point was living in his car. I know people's stories. And why do I know their stories? Because it's been told often. As you build your personal brand, you need to tell your story often. What do you stand for? Yes, you're going to sound like a machine sharing your story over and over and over and over again, but that's very important. You need to share what you stand for often. Share your story often. Share your message often. Those things are going to help you to not only build an audience, but build a community. And the community are people who connect. They connect with you. An audience, they follow you. A community, they connect with you. So really start thinking about, what is my message? What do I stand for? What's my story? It doesn't have to be a rags to riches story. It doesn't have to always be a really sad story. It can be simply a story that you just shared. Listen, I stand for this and I truly believe it. And I want to help everybody else get to this thing. I believe that you don't have to work all the time just to make money. Labor is not necessary for money. You don't have to work super hard all the time to produce income. I believe in that. I stand for that. I want to share that with you. It doesn't have to be a hard story behind it. So really think about, what is your message? What's your story? Share it often, okay? And I have found the best way to share your story is by building up your social media presence. That is my next tip to become a paid speaker. Build your social media presence. Is that required? No. Is that necessary? No. I know people who don't have any social media presence and they're very, very sought after. And that's usually because because they have a really great in-person or local personal brand. If you're really big locally, you may not need a social media, but I'm talking about you watching this YouTube video, then more than likely you're on social media. So I highly recommend building out your social media presence. It's going to allow people, one, discover you, and two, to take you seriously. If someone sees you have one follower on Instagram and one follower on Facebook, but you give tips on how to grow your social media, it's not going to seem legit, right? People want those who are well liked. No, you don't need a large audience, but a person is more likely to want to book you if you have an audience. If you have a social media following of 1,000, they're more likely to take you serious than if you have one follower. Think about your own experience. You're more likely to trust somebody if they have an audience of 50,000 on Instagram as opposed to they only have 5 followers on Instagram. Because that just means, okay, if they have an audience of 50,000, then people obviously trust them, they're following them, they're doing something right. So the same with you. No, you don't need an audience of 50,000, but really start building out your social media presence. It doesn't have to be on every single social media platform. You can have a social media presence only on YouTube or only on Facebook or only on Instagram, but really start building out your community. Build your community on social media. And then a caveat to this is, I personally think that if you want to become a paid speaker and you're not a paid speaker yet, leverage video. And that's my next tip. Leverage video. Video is really going to help you when it comes to becoming a paid speaker. People are going to be able to watch your videos. They're going to see how you talk, your mannerisms, your energy. Those things are important, especially people who are hiring speakers. If they have an event and it's very, very professional, corporate, then they may not want somebody who cusses a lot because it may not match their style. If someone's hiring a speaker and know somebody who's very high energy and very fun and very energetic, then they may want to hire you because that's the vibe of their event, and they can see that through your videos. So leverage video, whether that is YouTube videos, reels, going live. Really use video to your advantage. It's really going to help you to get more paid speaking gigs. I do have a mini course called Monetize with Speaking, and it goes in depth on how you can become a paid speaker. I share websites to help you find paid speaking gigs. I provide common terms you really want to know as a paid speaker, as well as my tips to really start monetizing and become a paid experienced speaker. So if you are interested in this mini course all about becoming a paid speaker, I will provide the link for that down below, which leads me into my next tip on how to become a paid speaker, and that is to build your portfolio. Build your portfolio so that people can see you spoke at other events. I have a portfolio. I have tons and tons of videos of me speaking at past events, on panels, doing my own keynotes, and I leverage that. I have a speaker portfolio. You want to build your speaker portfolio. Your speaker portfolio can literally be free speaking gigs you've done. When I first decided I wanted to become a speaker, I did free gigs. I reached out to Urban League Young Professionals. I spoke at their event. I would reach out to party planners and say, hey, I'm a speaker on this topic. I would love to be a speaker for free. I really built out my speaker portfolio, and I did that first by leveraging free speaking gigs. If you have a Toastmasters near you, I think they even have an online program now where Toastmasters help you to become a better speaker. So really start building your portfolio. You can use your speaking engagements from Toastmasters to build your portfolio. Another reason why I really say build your portfolio and leverage video is because it's going to help you improve your speaking. Every time I do a speaking event, I record it or have someone record it for me, and then I watch it to see where can I improve. What did I like? What did I not like? I noticed for me when I would do speaking gigs, I would always say and a lot, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah. I didn't notice that until I started watching my videos of me speaking. So now I try to intentionally end my sentences, so I'm not constantly going blah 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 and blah 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 blah. I wouldn't have known that though if I didn't record it. So make sure that when you are doing any kind of speaking engagement, you are recording it. 1, to become a better speaker, and then 2, to help build your speaker portfolio. So that way, if you pitch to be a speaker at an event and they ask for past experience or past videos of you speaking, you're able to submit those videos. And sometimes events do ask for that, especially bigger events. They will ask for samples of your speaking. So I definitely highly recommend recording it. And then I also want to remind you, it's hard to become a paid speaker if you're not an experienced speaker. Don't try to skip steps. It is okay to take on free gigs until you feel like, okay, I am experienced enough, or I'm confident enough or comfortable enough to become a paid speaker. This video is not about how to become a speaker, because I feel like how to become a speaker and how to become a paid speaker are two totally different different things. I would never recommend becoming a paid speaker and you don't have any speaking experience. I would never say, hey, you should get paid for something that you're not good at. Hey, you should get paid for something that you don't have any experience in. And I know a lot of times on the internet, people say, oh, you can get paid for something without needing experience. I disagree. Most jobs are not going to hire you if you have zero experience. So I do feel like personally, to be a paid speaker, you need to have some experience. That can be you doing one speaking gig for free and then after that getting paid. No like number on how many free gigs you need to get paid as a paid speaker, but I do recommend really building up your portfolio and becoming more experienced, more knowledgeable, so that when you get on stage, you're a little more comfortable and people feel like they're not paying you and you wasted their money. Then my next step to become a paid speaker is to determine your rates. How much are you going to charge? What do you want to get paid? Now, I don't have set rates. My rates depend on is it corporate, is it educational, is it business? Because a corporate budget is a heck of a lot more than an educational budget or a budget for a small event, right? So I do have different budgets based on what I'm going to be doing, how long I'm going to be speaking on, what my topic will be, am I going to be in a panel or a keynote. So I do have different rates based on that. But you really want to decide on your rate. How much do you want to make as a paid speaker? Now, there are two ways you can go about this. You can have a rate, and if someone can't afford it, then you're like, listen, the rate is the rate. If you can't afford it, I can't speak. Or you can say, you know what, what's your budget? And then saying, okay, I want to get paid this bare minimal. You have to pay me this, but I can work and negotiate with you. You can go about that different ways on how much you want to make as a paid speaker. I can't say, oh, the average speaker makes $1,000 or $10,000. Honestly, guys, it really depends. Corporate speakers, they probably gonna be able to make a heck of a lot more than someone who is a speaker at small churches, right? Because just the budgets are different. So there is no average speaking rate. It really just depends on the experience that you have, who you're speaking for, your personal brand. Beyonce is not gonna accept $1,000 to speak, right? Like, she's not gonna do that. She is perceived as like the creme de la creme, right? So people are gonna pay more for her. So that also matters when you're determining your speaker rates. You can always increase your speaker rate as well. I know I've increased my speaker rate. The more and more I become in demand, the more I charge. I can do that. And it's also important to know how much you want to charge so that when someone says, hey, what are your speaker rates? You're not like a deer caught in headlights. You're able to say, oh, my speaker rates start at this, based on this, 45 minutes, an hour, and my keynote. Like, you have an idea of how much you want to charge as a speaker. So as I said before, you're going to become a paid speaker. I highly recommend really start building out your social media. Start building an audience, a community on social media. So if you're wondering, okay, I'm ready to be on social media and build my presence, but which way should I do it? Go ahead and click right here for my video all about blogging versus YouTube versus podcasting for your personal brand. So I'll talk to you guys in my very next video. Bye.